peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now, I want to speak on how the importance is, again, where everything comes to the fact of getting your own intuition in check. Meditating, getting that egoic mind, or quiet. Well, basically, because another thing is not killing the ego, but we have, what we call the egoic mind. And it's basically just all these thoughts accumulated from all the things we were taught and all the things we've seen in this, physical matrix, stuff like that. But, we have our inner being, that should be using the thoughts and not letting the thoughts use it. With that being said, just the importance of following your heart, because now I'm starting to see how much we all do have extremely, unique paths in essence, and as I'm sitting here talking about, the way I do things or the way certain things, is in certain, from a cult standpoint, different things, as much as like, oh, well, this operates like this operates like that. At the end of the day, is about following your heart and what feels right for you. What I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, that's the end all be all. And that's why it's so important. And you starting to see, because even down to where shit getting tricky, where they done push this new age movement out, and now people like, oh, well, shit, I don't know what to believe, this and that. Get out of your thoughts and go into your heart. And when you go into the flow of your heart, into the flow of your soul, then you're going to be able to move, with that intuitive, flow, without feeling like, oh man, I'm being tricked or this and that, Again, because a lot of that stuff with that new age movement, that was me logically being pulled into that. That was me thinking, all right, since dogmatism of spirituality, like, all right, seen the church, the church layout and the blueprint for that. And just, all right, just kind of finding it in a different form. Again, like, all right, like over meditating and being like a monk style. That's kind of where I was headed at the beginning, and which at the same time, though, the body is the temple. Of course, I still meditate a lot, what I'm saying, because that is very important, but it wasn't, now it's not to a place of dogmatism, but you start to realize, from deciphering, dealing with different people, like, it's all about following your heart. Because now I see why, like, at the end of the day, matter of fact, and somebody else just did a video on that, matter of fact, Jay Dyer, it's like, LA is like the new age spiritual movement mecca, what I'm saying, like, it is the capital, and not only is Babylon on so many levels, what I'm saying, like, the Hollywood vibes, basically, like, that's the capital of the world, because the movies they put out and all the people who they make stars and the movies they make popular or the TV shows they make popular, that's social engineering and programming everybody's subconscious. So you got people in China, all over the world, that like watch Hollywood and all this and getting their minds programmed, and that's when you start to see that all these people is in cahoots. Matter of fact, because Kim Jong-il used to go to a boarding school in Switzerland somewhere. So you see, like, how he's not, like, for somebody that's just secluded to this place and all these crazy and this and that, like, nah, bro, that's the illusion again. And you start to see how much, again, why Hollywood and CIA, they were studying how film affects people's minds and stuff. And basically, like, with all this fake stuff, like, oh, we put Bin Laden body in the ocean, and, matter of fact, and them doing these fake stage shootings, like they was gonna do Operation Northwood, what I'm saying, like, make some CIA operatives, but like look like Cubans, and have them shoot up this area so we could be like, oh, look at them Cubans messing with us, so we could attack now, creating these little play, Hollywood and a first-hand stage, what I'm saying. And again, as we see all these connections, only your mind that just doesn't want to see it won't see it, what I'm saying, but it's all there. Again, are you a real truth seeker? Real truth seekers are open-minded. Like, I tell a person, I don't care if I found out, and it's just to put it in perspective, like, if the real way to be, say for instance, was homosexual, or the real way to be was for us to slide on our backs, and blue people, we find out that blue people run everything, and we controlled by blue people, and we supposed to be sliding on, I'm just throwing ridiculousness out there. But if I would have, if I've been researching and I found out that that information was true, like where that information like resonating with my heart, and I'm like, oh shit, this is the truth, I would acknowledge that is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because after my research, and as I'm researching, feeling my, like, being guided by my heart and feeling my heart and how it feels with this information, I'm like, all right, damn, it's true. Like, and again, you see why it's about deprogramming ourselves or reprogramming ourselves. Forget everything that somebody taught you. You know what I'm saying? And in essence, if anything that you're, be real with you, it's kind of like throwing it all out and keeping nothing but, in essence, indirectly, yeah, your heart may hold on to some safe, or your heart, so your soul may hold on to some information, because in essence it's like, all right, well, this part was the real, so, but throw out, all this other shit. But again, you just want to have a mind frame of just, again, just like, don't believe, deprogram all that stuff our mamas and daddies and guardians and families and cultures taught us. It's like, start from the beginning. Take it as if, again, like somebody telling you something strange that you never heard before, or like, without a position, being open-minded, like, and that's for any, like, when you hearing information, hear it from a place where you're a being on a human experience, and not a black person, a white person, a Asian person, a Brazilian person, or Alaskan person, Australian person, whatever. It's like, listen, like, let me view this from just, again, spiritual lessons, be an observer, let me observe, not from the position of universal frequencies. Let me fall back and look at universal frequencies and, see, like, you're observing yourself, like when in the actions you're doing, instead of reacting or judging yourself, you seeing myself, like, all right, why, like observing, like, look at myself taking this toilet paper when I don't need it or something, you know what I'm saying? But just observing. I just try to think of anything, but observing what you're doing. But again, reason why I got to this too, because I realized, like with me and my path and, manifesting abundance, I realized, some of us are, again, we all meant to, again, when we walking in the light of source, you know what I'm saying? The sources of abundance, you walk in the light of abundance, or in the light of source, you are abundance as well. But I'm thinking about, like, the reality of the situation of, which we create our reality. But I am starting to see where, again, some of us are meant to not have this quick, like, just lump sum or flow of cash, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see where some of us are meant to have, like, more of this simple life, so we could not be controlled, because basically, that's how, Hollywood, the government, all this, they control people by the way you value money and physical objects, you know what I'm saying? And when you, like, extremely value, physical objects and, material things and material wealth, then they could use that as a little thing, to throw you off. Because I think about when I was in LA, how, part of how some people was keying in on my energy, they saw, like, all right, he got a YouTube channel, he trying to expand his business, this and that, so we're gonna place ourselves right here, to be right there waiting for him as he looking, you know what I'm saying? Like with, and again, it's not to fearmonger, but the reality is, the CIA agents and all that, like, it's out there and it's real, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, all right, he on his meditating by, again, social engineering too, because like, you got social engineering, like, where they, like, pushing a certain programming on us. Then you got social engineering where you're using people information to do mischievous things, you know. So it's like, you know, like, so that part to it is like, all right, he liked to meditate, you know, he's real into, you know, the Hindu you know, pantheon, this and that. All right, we're gonna throw somebody at him that's, you know, again, that's a guru and this and that, you know, somebody that he's possibly wanting to connect with or looking for in essence. You know, so they're gonna send somebody, you know. That's what they did. You know, and then I dealt with that person, and in that moment again, starting to realize like that's why my heart wasn't resonating with a lot of these situations, you know, like getting invites to a lot of little, you know, yoga studios, and it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't, you know, my heart, like, oh yeah, like the eye test, like I'm seeing smiles, I'm seeing, oh man, come on, you know what I'm saying? But my heart's saying, something wrong, you know what I'm saying? And starting to, and again, that's why it's about following our heart, because a book tell me, you know, a lot of these, you know, new age movement, and again, not saying nothing wrong with yoga, because look at yoga from the aspect of like you know, cry yoga in certain aspects, but from an ancient, you know, aspect, and where, say for instance, in the ancient sense, it wasn't pushed in a way like, all right, let's all, you know, come together and have this little, like in the exercise, like in a what you call that, aerobics class, you know, type of format. You know, because again, a lot of our spiritual growth is dealing with ourselves, is going within. So to be in a place where somebody constantly trying to put you in a group, put you in a group, put you in a group, and again, nothing is wrong with that, to each his own. But I do see, you know, again, where my heart was like, you know, kind of not drawn to a lot of those situations, you know, and feeling that energy, and seeing, you know, again, looking at throughout my life, and two, that's another thing too, why I be getting smacked so hard, like why my book sacks be getting stolen, stuff like that, because my intuition is very strong. And so when I don't follow it, like my higher self like smack the shit out of me, like, fool, we was like, you know, like this is what you asked for, to be able to move in a way where you know what's going on, and you ignoring all the fucking insight we giving you, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, having to respect higher self and ancestors, you know, and delivering this, you know, this intuitive gift, and acknowledging the insight that I'm getting from it, instead of ignoring it due to, you know, again, something I was taught, you know, and socially engineered to go along with, you know, because in my heart I know I'm not supposed to be overly nice, you know. I know it's not about being nice to a point of just letting somebody run over, you know. Because here it is, as people teach that vibe, you know, and promote that vibe, but they're not doing it. It's like, oh yeah, do this over here, as we not do this and fuck over you over here, you know. And again, it's not for us to do exactly what they're doing to combat, you know, what they're doing against us. But at the same time, it is about us having the awareness of knowing that nothing is wrong with you know, aggression and anger. Like they make that seem like, you know, like it's a, oh, this is bad. You know, again, I always use the example in nature, you know. Matter of fact, not even nothing as ferocious as a lion or anything. Man, go mess with a bird's nest. Like they got like little bird eggs and something. Go climb or go try to tamper with that bird's nest. And don't do this, but I'm just saying, for example, matter of fact, gotta say that. Don't go tampering with no bird's nest. But to say, if you would go tamper with a bird's nest, and then all of a sudden you're gonna catch a little bird come out of nowhere, like trying to peck you and, you know, come at you, it's gonna be that mama bird, you know, or depending on the species, it might be the daddy bird, but coming at you with aggression, you know. Not like, oh, you know, spiritual teachings say I should be nice as a bird, so I'm gonna let you take my eggs, you know, and I'm gonna meditate on it. You know, as you take my eggs, I'll meditate. And again, that's where the balance come in, and using spiritual teachings in a way that's not beneficial for you, because it's like, well, you know, I'm meditate, because yeah, meditation is, but you're not meditating after, you know, while something is, you know, eating your children. It's like, and again, where somebody might say, oh, well, that people manifest in situations, that's to a certain extent. Again, where I used the example with my bike being stolen, where I was in super optimistic, positive mode and my bike still got stolen, showing me that, again, things are still going on. Yeah, you got your little bubble of positivity in your close range, but again, there's still things going outside you and letting you know too that you can't run away from yourself. As above, so below, as within, so without. You know, the more you go to ignoring all these, police shootings and things like they're not happening. And again, it's not to be focused on it in a fear-mongered manner, you know what I'm saying? But it's having the awareness of what's going on and knowing to speak up against certain things, because whether it's of the negative energy or positive energy or whatever energy, it's meant to be brought up regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's relevant to the now. Right now they have a government that's trying to pull a wool over everybody's heads. Right now, matter of fact, from reestablishing, they coming out with the moon landing movie to reestablish and reprogram your minds, and if they don't reprogram, to see where you at, you know what I'm saying? But they doing all this because they moving, they trying to move strong on, you know what I'm saying? They pushing the weed to create a dystopia. Like I tell everybody, be aware of that. Of course, ain't nothing wrong with the herb smoke, but don't be like Cheech and Chong up in smoke. Much love to Cheech and Chong, but like, we don't want to be up in smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, not doing that, because again, demasculinity. A lot of herb smoke, take down our testosterone levels, man. And when your testosterone levels low, you're not gonna care about certain things, and you're gonna be more timid and more, you know what I'm saying? Your aggression gonna be very, very low. And again, because say for instance, like I tell people, I'm a naturally nice person, naturally like I'm never looking to be mad, like I'm naturally in the mode of just being positive in essence, like, because of, I guess that's just always been my energy, because wasn't nothing I was really taught when I look back, like my mom or dad. It wasn't like, hey, be positive about all situations and this and that. Matter of fact, that's that Pisces moon energy, you know what I'm saying? Like just wanting to like give everything, the world, this and that, Matter of fact, the Lamb of God that take away the sins of the world, the Ram, the Aries at the beginning, and the Pisces at the end, the fish, like how to use for the little Jesus sign, the little fish, that's the Pisces, and we just come out of the age of Pisces, but it's that Christ energy within me. But again, but still knowing better to know to stand up and have aggression at in certain moments that it called for it, because again, we're not down here to be disrespected. A part of loving yourself, you know what I'm saying, is not letting nobody harm you. Like, because if you don't love yourself, you're like, oh fuck it, beat me up, throw me in the dumpster while you're at it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't shit, I don't love myself, that's that perspective. But I love myself. I love my bodysuit, and that trickles out. I love my bodysuit, and I love the bodysuits that's in my circle too. Like, I love my family, soul family, other friends and acquaintances, close. Not all, but again, and that's having that discernment, like, it's not nothing bad to be able to point out, oh, this person is probably a child molester, maybe I shouldn't let my children hang with him, oh well, no, I would be being rude to acknowledge that he's really a molester. So instead of acknowledging the truth of what he is, I'm gonna still let my kids hang around. And it's the thing, of course you don't want to like look down on that child molester. Of course you want to send that child molester love, unconditionally in that format. And I love, like, of of course we're not supporting. That's another thing too. You're not supporting what they're doing by showing, because again, like from murderers, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody need love. Like the racist people, like KKK member, like that's people that need hugs, you know what I'm saying? They need love, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're not going about this in a blind way either, you know what I'm saying? In an ignorant manner, you know. So again, it's just a balance, but it's all about following your heart, you know. Again, getting your intuition up to a certain level where, you know, you just start moving with what you really feel that you're vibing with, you know. Cause that's why, like, you know, I move the way I move, is because I catch a feeling and it's like, you know, and not being like prejudgmental, not feeling like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, it's just I get an invite or something and it's like, I'll see, you know what I'm saying? And then I remember days of trying to push myself to go. Like that was the thing too, like seeing how like egoic mind, like, well, you know, hey, this is a drum, again, what I'm told, like, hey, this is a drum circle, or this is, you know, it gotta be good for you, you know, just because it's in the light of something spiritual. And it's like, with my heart, like, nah, you know, down to, again, it's just, it's a little CIA agent playground. They just running around LA testing everybody out, testing out equipment. Matter of fact, because I think about, like, somebody had like this little thing on the sidewalk in front of their house, and when you pass under it, you know, it would kind of light up type of vibe. And I'm, you know, thinking to like little simple stuff like that in plain sight, you know, testing all these little things out. And again, just awareness, not fear mongering and anything, you know what I'm saying? It's the whole thing, you know, it's the balance of it all, you know. I am source on a human experience. I am all that is, you know. Like, so I'm all that is from, and matter of fact, we each are the center of the universe, in the essence of, like, you are the center of the universe. From your perspective, you are, you know, in the center of your universe, you know. But, you know, again, it's the balance. I am one. I am a part of everything. There's no separation between me and this camera and these trees, but yet one do exist for a reason as well, you know what I'm saying? So as much as I am interconnected to everything, it's also a reality that I'm here in this human body to carry out something unique with this, you know, with this little vessel right here, you know. So it's, you know, again, the balance from the root chakra to the crown, back to the root, the crown, back to the root to the crown, you know, microcosmic orbit, you know. Well, check out the videos on breathing techniques if you don't know about microcosmic orbit, universal frequencies, breathing, and you'll probably come up with a bunch of videos. But again, you know, it's a balance. Like, this is one big body that operates together. Like, you see this? Like, it's one big body operates. It's one. But this one is separated into different units. I got a stomach that has a particular task. I have intestines that have a particular task. You know, I got cells in my foot that got a particular task. I got red blood cells that have a particular task, white blood cells that have a particular task. I got, you know, carbon that has a particular task, copper, you know, different things in the body, different elements, different organs, but yet they all coming together, you know, to make this body one. You know, but again, it's again, because if my organs were like, oh, we all one, let's all just merge together right now, and, you know, like we're all one, then I'm like, what's going on inside of me, you know what I'm saying? Like, because again, I'm here in this physical body, you know, for a reason. It's not to, all right, let me come down this physical body with all these organs that have a particular purpose, let me change that up. as if to say God fucked up, source fucked up when they put me in this body, so let me change it, because that's the whole thing too, with a lot of vibes of, genetically modifying things, like, the Luciferian vibe is just kind of like the light bearer of knowledge, but from the material standpoint, because, like, matter of fact, like somebody said that, like, that brethren, what's his name, Elon Musk, pretty cool with the ideas, but that brethren is like, in fact, so, quote unquote, I'm not saying, because I haven't listened to enough of his stuff to get my own assessment of, how he, is to that level, but the brethren's like, man, that brethren's soulless, because how much he's into the material world, and two, that's the chess game though. Somebody's trying to get you to a place of not knowing that you are more than just a human, and trying to get you to a place of like dependent on this, robots and AI and computers, when you are the technology that's greater than all of that. We have the technology that's greater than our cell phones. Like, matter of fact, that's why they're about to put this 5G net up to lower our frequencies, you know what I'm saying? Because here it is that these companies that's starting this 5G network is the same people that secretly, they take little business trips, to like India or certain places and go deal with yogis and learn about meditation, learn about how our mind and thoughts, manifest into the physical. Shit, Napoleon Hill got one of the most popular books that preaches about how, we manifest things into the physical, So we are amazing beings on that level. But here it is, you're pushing technology as if we can't do this ourselves. And that's when you see, like, all right, well, my heart tell me that they trying to, push something that's harmful to our soul growth. You know what I'm saying? And you see, like, these same group of people that kind of acknowledge the same other people, like, oh, shout out to Aleister Crowley, man, he's the greatest ever, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to, Aldous Huxley, man, the greatest author ever, and then it's all people with the same little agenda as well, And again, not to say that, oh, just because they speaking out on it, no. Assess it, observe, feel with your heart, as you coming across this information, how your heart feel when matter of fact, yeah, how does your heart feel whenever whenever, what's his name, Elon Musk talk about, like, just having, oh yeah, we're gonna have robots and this and that, like, not quoting, but robots, we're gonna have everything automated and this and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that make you feel, when they got, indigenous people, the Sentinel Islands, Solomon Islands, all over the world, living life to its fullest, and realizing that the material things, don't bring happiness in the essence of two, where we are God on a human experience. This body is capable of so much technology, but what they're trying to do is almost like making an amazing car, but then making that car believe, well, hold on, no, you gotta add this attachment and this attachment and this attachment and this attachment to be great. Like, it's like, nah, not a car, is extremely artificial and barely could use its own. It don't even know how to use its own stuff because it got all these attachments, outside of itself, and that's where it becomes, again, what we want to just definitely be aware of, not to be overly into this technology taking over vibe, because they definitely trying to push it in a manner, again, and this is what the questions, because if we don't shine a light on these areas, it's gonna turn into a shadow. So if nobody's saying, well, hey, y'all motherfuckers, y'all not only acknowledge that our mind manifests things into the physical and that metaphysical things are real and great, but you know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna say, not only you do that, I forgot how see, that's that energy too, wondering, because not even smoking and it's still but what was I gonna say, like dealing with them acknowledging, I was gonna say like them acknowledging, yeah, they acknowledge like how the technology of the body works, but yet you still trying to promote this artificial intelligence as if it's greater than our spiritual abilities. And then two, that's where the situation does go where nobody takes it there. Matter of fact, with people feeling like, oh man, certain people being racist by bringing up race or this and that, man, so it's bringing it there like the collective, like this is how things are playing out, you know, and it's no coincidence to how things playing out. But again, you see that people who may not have as much, you know, melanin or neuromelanin, again, some people who may look white have melanin, you know what I'm saying, and have it on a level where they're connecting spiritually, you know what I'm saying. So only if you're in the mode of, like I told my brother, like you can only separate yourself with your mind. So as I'm talking about these things, if you feel like, oh, you're trying to talk, well, that's you in your mind. I'm not doing anything. You taking what I said and separating yourself, which means that's where you at with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm discussing what's really going on in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't shoot the messenger. This is what it is. And if you're trying to shoot the messenger, that's because you don't like the true message. You know what I'm saying? But you know, again, you start to see like, all right, all these brethren promoting this overly, you know, again, technological, transhuman vibe. It's like, well, no, my brethren, like my mind, you know, here it is where yogis could levitate, you know, like when we could go without eating, like we got all these amazing abilities, but somebody trying to, again, slap a cell phone in your hand, you know, talk about going into space and all these things. Outside, look over here, 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 look over here. And then by the time you done looking over here, looking over here, looking over here, you know, and you done aged and you ain't done dealt with, you know, the source within, dealing with your own spiritual abilities, you know. That's why as much as I connect and stay balanced, I always make sure I'm still working on heightening my metaphysical abilities, because I'm like, you know, we have the ability to do FaceTime, and with our pineal gland, I could FaceTime somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing, you know. Indirectly dripping a little bit of that sauce in Black Panther, you know, the vibranium, and you know, it's like, again, that vibranium is within us. Don't have to create all these technologies, you know. And back to full circle, what I started off with, you know, again, following your heart. Because when we in our mind, like right now is the last place you want to be in right now is in your mind. Like, and a lot of us who have a lot of air in our natal chart, a lot of air signs, I can't think of them all, but first thing I think about is Gemini. But you know, we tend to be more in our thoughts, you know, a little more. Matter of fact, because I'm Gemini ascending, so that's why I'm like communication, and then with Sagittarius energies, like philosophical, talking a lot, you know. Again, because realizing that Western astrology, Capricorn energy, and almost on the as above, so below level, you know, where that Capricorn energy, like, so Western astrology is more like egoic astrology, because matter of fact, as above, so below, you know, like, in essence, Western astrology comes from, you know, people that's more dealing with their egoic mind, you know what I'm saying? And so, in essence, that's what it's displaying, like, well, you know, you're a Capricorn, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's more from that human perspective, and again, you're not acknowledging the real situation, where matter of fact, where the real souls and stars, you know, again, like where our soul energy really is like, well, no, we, you know, say logically, well, not even really say logically, because logically, if it did look, they wouldn't be going off of that. But anyway, you know, again, it's more of an egoic mind identity, and that's why too, a lot of people identified with the zodiac signs on the ego level, where, when you bring up the 13 sign to a lot of people, it's like, oh no, man, I already done tatted Capricorns for life on me, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, shit, it is what it is. You could still rep your, matter of fact, now you got a new tattoo. You could write Western on side of the Western sign astrology, and then you could acknowledge and do a new tattoo representing, your 13 sign astrology, or sidereal or sidereal astrology, which basically keeps up with the precession of the equinox, like so with the Earth's tilt, and I'm not getting into none of that part, you know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, whatever, like whether it's flat or fucking round, some type of little tilt, that deals with, matter of fact, and us dealing with the energy of Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus in between, Scorpio and Sagittarius, and even biblical scripture indirectly acknowledges Ophiuchus in one of the stories, when I forgot which story it is, but like where they talk about the serpents biting at the back of the legs of the horse or something like that. But basically the horse is the Sagittarius legs, and those snakes is, because the Ophiuchus sign is like two snakes, like a man holding two snakes, kind of also in essence a representation of the Kundalini energy. And also, like it's also said to be where the center of the galaxy is at, in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So it kind of seem like, things add up in that area. But again, following our heart. Because even with that information there, like at first I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then I started reading the Sagittarius qualities. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, that's more of me. And with anything, because some of us closer to that last zodiac sign, so you may be on the cusp. So like, say for instance, if you are born in January, so I'm born January 5th, so that makes me a Western astrology Cap, but if I was born so in the Western, like January 19th, close to Aquarius, in the 13 sign astrology, I may still be a Capricorn, because I was so close to being an Aquarius, because it goes back, I want to say 25 degrees for most of us. So yeah, it would for some cases, some of us may still stay with the same zodiac sign, but and again, not for us to be ruled by these zodiac signs either, but having knowledge of them does help for us to move throughout, our experience, just kind of like doing life purpose numbers, and breaking down your name, the gematria of your name, like into numbers, and the day you was born, all that, and it brings a certain number value, and that number value has, it informs you on like you got different like soul pad number, life pad number, but all this energy, goes into it. There's no coincidence for our names and stuff either, as much as I may call, my the name that my parents gave me, like my governmental name, what I'm saying, like Corey Haynes is like my government name, but still, like, it as being a soul that chose to come down here, that was a part of the deal, what I'm saying, like allowing that to be the name and all that. So all that energy does go into it regardless, but that's basically it. But again, following the heart right now is very, very key to get in tune with that heart chakra. But more so, again, I use the word heart, but because the heart is in between, pineal and lower nature, you know what I'm saying? Like right in the middle, that heart. But dealing with, that unconditional love vibe. Unconditional love does not mean be over nice. That's what people get it, Unconditional love meaning, You know, I love you no matter how crazy you act or do, you know what I'm saying? I might not be around you. I might not like some of the things you talk about or say. But I still love your ass because you a reflection of me at the regardless, and that's what I tell people. With me acknowledging all these things that's going on in the world, that's still not separate. Cause at the end of the day, yeah, we all one organism. But again, as above, so below. This is all one organism, but it still got different aspects of this one organism. You know what I'm saying? Like my eyes look different from my teeth. My teeth look different from my ears. My ears look different from my fingers. You know? Are you racist to say that the ears are connect? Matter of fact, you racist because you said the pineal connect to the soul more than your foot does. Well, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, analogies, you know? Oh, so you're trying to say the fingers is the better body part and not the stomach? You know, it's like, no. You know, like we explain, like certain things have certain body functions, you know, and it's a fact that certain organs functions may be a little more important to the body than others, you know. And you see, that's where, again, spirit, like that Freemasonry, all that, twist that vibe of hierarchy and use it in a negative aspect, you know. Well, all right, well, yeah, you know, the hierarchy of, you know, because which it does have, you know, we do grow on different levels spiritually, but it's not for us to be egotistical about it and like, all right, well, we're going to create this hierarchy and forcefully, you know, make people do this and that. It's like, nah, you know, it just goes through the natural flow. Like, you know, as you following your heart and being what you be, you're going to, you know, elevate to whatever level you elevate to, you know. And we all on different, you know, different growth paths, you know. And, you know, I say growing at different rates. But again, just that intuition, opening up the pineal gland. You know, if you haven't like really, you know, because a lot of people, you know, where you never really ate extremely healthy at any point yet. It's like you gotta have some point of like, you know, really cleaning up that pineal, you know. In fact, I got videos on that with different foods to help open the pineal, you know. Because matter of fact, when your pineal gland open, matter of fact, ginkgo biloba helps. Like, even though it's helping with memory, it's like it's opening that pineal as well. Because that's another reason why I feel like memory do be like outside of your brain, and that's like just eternal. Cause like, well, like lately I be having these little parts where I stop and forget where I was, but then it's like it just comes out of the ethers with that ginkgo. It's like, boom, I got you, you know. But that's more of that pineal power, you know. But again, becoming intuitive and, you know, being guided through the heart. And not some people take that, try to switch around like so blind emotions like hard because people, oh, I'm never, again, this image that they done put out there, or, you know, love is my heart and put my heart. No, not that kind of, you know, vibe. No, it's not like with relationship, love and my heart, and it's a whole different vibe. You know, this is your soul, this is your higher guidance, you know. In fact, like about the truest thing that Caesar Borgia picture, the truest thing that a hippie Jesus / Caesar Borgia picture have in it is the fact that he doing this, pointing to the heart. I think with 2 fingers or 1 finger and 2 fingers, whatever, but like pointing to the heart and pointing up, like, you know, the way up is through the heart. Not doing like this. You know, like the way up is through your mind. Or like this, the way up is through your genitals. It's like the way up is through your heart, you know. Again, probably one of the the only little truest things you could probably get from that picture. You know, truths are realist, however you want to, you know. But the intuitive discernment, like, where it's a lot of times why intuition is like letting us know, like, no, don't go there, don't do this, like, you're doing this to be nice. Like, that's another thing, getting out of that mold, like, of thinking that spirituality is blindly being nice, like, oh, I don't want to hurt no. Society got a fucked up way of looking at things as far as not hurting nobody's feelings, because they look at it as you should, like, to not hurt somebody's feelings, bring yourself down. You know what I'm saying? If we all keep doing that, then everybody gonna be in the mud. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you know, I'm not supposed to bring myself down in order for dim my light in order to make somebody else feel comfortable about their light and the way it shines. You know, that's some bullshit. But that's basically the gist of it, because it's just getting you know, getting down to that point where I'm seeing like things where if you in your mind, you're gonna be thrown all over the place, you know, even down to where I'll get back to kind of not reading, and not to say not reading so much, but just making sure I'm also just dealing with my own intuitive knowledge, you know, like read these books, but again, deal with what resonates with me and not take it all as the end all be all, just some, you know, some information that I could, you know, use moving in my now, you know what I'm saying? Some of it resonates, some of it, you know, it don't. But again, moving more so with that inner source, you know. But that's it. Yep. Peace. Happy now. Now is a vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace, peace.